Live. What is going on, Bree Hive? Today, we are going to be diving deep into Young Thug and the possibility that he won't be rapping bars anymore, but he might maybe be behind bars. He is on trial for RICO charges, meaning that he engaged in conspiracy to commit crimes and helped out his people. They are also saying that he was the lead or the basically like the kingpin of the gang. And his trial just started yesterday, which was a shock to me. I don't know when I thought it was going to start, but I didn't think that it started yesterday. And over the weekend, I was like, oh, let me get everything up to date. But somehow I did not realize that the trial started on Monday. For those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, I am talking about Young Thug, who is a rapper who likes to rap about these gang activities that he is now claiming he never participated in. He was indicted along with several of his other friends. What was it, about 50 some odd people that were all indicted, or was it 20 something? I may be misquoting. It was a bunch of people, okay, that were indicted along with him. A lot of people got their charges dropped. A lot of people took plea deals, but not Young Thug and I think 6 other people who are now on trial for the RICO charges. And let me tell y'all, I am in catch up mode because I just realized today that the trial actually started. However, from what I have seen, it is starting off as a complete mess. Let me know in the chat if you guys have been watching the trial. It is 27 people that were originally indicted. So thank you for correcting me on that, Kimmy. Yes, let me know if you guys are watching the trial because it's ridiculous. We're going to get into it. We're going to start off with an article. Okay, so that the Bree Hive can get all up into it and figure out what's going on, just in case you don't know what's going on already. We're going to talk about it. We're going to start with an article. Then we're going to dive through the indictment in which Young Thug is charged on. And like I said, several other people, but the person that we're really concerned with is Young Thug because he's a celebrity. And on this channel, we cover celebrity lawsuits. And so that's why we're going to really be talking about him. We don't really know who these other dudes are, okay? We don't know who they are. So we're not really going to be focusing on them. And on top of that, they are alleging that Young Thug is the main, or maybe not the main perpetrator, but he was in charge. He's the one that told them, hey, go do this, go do that. He said in some songs, he didn't pull the trigger, but he be calling the shots, something along those lines. And the prosecutor is planning on using those lyrics against him. His own words, his own raps that made him famous are potentially going to be used against him, but it's only if it's relevant to what they are claiming that he did, which a lot of these charges, I don't know if maybe the robbery charges, yeah, probably the robbery charges. He talks about that a lot in his songs. Could be used against him, but the defense is not having a good time. After we go through the indictment, then we're going to talk a little bit about the opening statement. Like I said, I am on catch-up mode. So we are going to just kind of do a brief overview, and then as the case goes on, I hope to give everyone a recap like we did on the Edelson case, where we just recapped everything for you. Hopefully we won't do it in 2 streams like we did it last time. We'll do it as the case progresses, so that you don't have to watch it because the audio sucks. The audio on the trial sucked. For me, at least. I don't know about for you guys, but it sucked for me. And we're going to just give a brief overview of what's going on in the trial. I have only made it through the prosecution's partial opening statement. I haven't even made it through the full opening statement because, like I said, there was a bunch of drama that occurred. So go ahead and drop in the chat if you guys are watching live. It is Happy Tuesday, and I am going to get into the chat and see who is here. And just to let you guys know, I will not be streaming on Thursday again. Sorry. I hope everyone had a lovely Thanksgiving last week, but this weekend is now my birthday, so I'm going to New York, and so I will not be streaming on Thursday, and maybe not next Tuesday as well, just depending on, I probably won't get back in time to stream on Tuesday. So I will see y'all next Thursday, okay? I'm gonna try to get some short content out while I'm out, and then we'll go from there. But enough about me, okay? Let's go ahead and see who's watching live. We got Summer Butterfly, a member of the channel, saying hello and good evening to all. Hello and welcome in. Thank you for stopping by early in the chat. And y'all, I forgot to say, if you haven't already, please do hit the like button. It does help us out in the algorithm. And I think people like when we cover these trials. So if you haven't already, please do hit the like button. Fig says, hi, hello, welcome into the live stream. Nice to see you tonight. Let me see if I'm going to say this right. Siri J1 says, hi, hello, welcome into the live stream. Nice to see you tonight. Kimmy Locker, a member, moderator, and a paralegal of the channel who actually found the actual re-indictment because I found the regular indictment. Messing things all the way up, but that's okay. Welcome into the live stream. Nice to see you tonight in the chat and backstage. Hey, girl. Tanya D says, hello, Bree and Bree Hive. Hello, Tanya D. Welcome in, another member and moderator of the channel. I think Tanya D is our longest member of the channel. Welcome in. Nice to see you tonight. Let me know what y'all think about this case. Kimmy Locker says 27 other people were indicted, so I guess 28 altogether because I can do math. Okay. MV says, I have no idea what it is about. It's about bad things. We're going to go through the bad things that these people are being alleged of. They have 65 counts. And I'm just like, why are y'all putting all of these people into one trial with all of these counts? How are they going to focus on each count at a time? And they listed it off. They list off a bunch of charges that each of them are involved in, and there's 7 people on trial. It's absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. Tanya D says, I have no clue about this case. Well, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're probably going to talk about it for quite a while because it's supposed to be several weeks. Kimmy Locker says, the audio is dog water. Are you talking about the trial? Yeah, I don't know what they have going on. It's like, and then when I turn my phone, it like shifts all the sound to one side. I don't know if it's my phone or if it's them, but it's not good audio, in my opinion. Tiny says, make sure you hit the like button to support Bree in the channel. Yes, of course. Thank you for the reminder. We got to get more friends. Welcome to the party, okay? Fig says, happy early birthday. Well, thank you very much. I plan to have me a good old time. Tanya D says, yay, I won't be here next Thursday. I'll be on vacation for my 50th birthday. Yay! Yes, happy birthday to Tanya D. I forgot that our birthdays were close in time. I feel like you told me this before, but happy birthday to you. I hope you have a wonderful, what kind of vacation are you going? Now I want to know where you're going. What you doing for your birthday, girl? No, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Wonderful. Hope you're going somewhere tropical. I'm going somewhere cold. Cheryl C, hello. Welcome into the live stream. Nice to see you tonight. Another member of the channel. Welcome back. Siri J says you pronounced it right. Yes, I got it. Got it for once. Kimmy Locker saying, hey girl, backstage girl. Yes. Tanya D says, happy early birthday, my Sag sister. Yes, I'm excited. But I don't really know what we're doing. But it's going to be a good time. I think it is. Cheryl C saying, happy early birthday. Thank you very much. Or you're saying it to Tanya D. Happy birthday to Tanya D. Tanya D saying, hey, and thank you to Cheryl C. And then Z Seltzer, another member of the channel, popping in saying, happy birthday. Thank you very much. I'm telling you, we're going to have a great time. I'm going to try and we'll see. It's my birthday. So should I really be posting on social media? Yes, because I need to start taking my content more seriously. I'm trying. I have been consistent. It's just been a couple holidays, but that's okay. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into our content for the night. Let's go ahead and catch up on what the heck this is even about. A couple of people in the chat have already mentioned that you don't even know what this is about. So we are going to check it out. What is going on in this case? We got Young Thug. Who is Young Thug? He's a rapper. Sounds like a rapper, right? Or, I mean, I don't know if this is going to go too well for him. Like, you are literally calling yourself Young Thug now. While we all may not be what we say our names are, me, boss, attorney, I am a boss and I am an attorney. So, hey, I actually represent my name. He is literally trying to argue that he is not his name. He is not a Young Thug. He just goes by Young Thug. Yeah, he just goes by Young Thug. I don't know. I don't know if that argument is going to work for y'all. I'm trying to use my little soundboard. I used the whole wrong sound. I wanted the crickets. Where are the crickets at? Oh, there we go. Okay. We'll try again next time. We'll try again next time. Okay, so I found this really good article that kind of caught me up on everything. Is by Billboard, so we're going to go ahead and check it out, just to kind of give us an idea or remind everyone or introduce everyone into what's going on. I think I briefly covered this case on my channel, but it was not like a full stream situation. I think I like briefly mentioned it in passing, and so I've been interested in the case for quite a while, and for whatever reason, stopped really paying attention to it until now. So now we are going to trial. Let's see what the crazy ads in the article has to say. Young Thug and YSL, which is the gang he's being accused of being a part of. Atlanta RICO trial, everything you need to know. That's why we're talking about it. More than a year after one of hip hop's biggest stars was indicted on accusations that he ran a violent Atlanta street gang, he's finally headed to trial. At the end of 2021, Young Thug was one of hip hop's biggest rising stars, a critically adored rapper with 3 chart-topping hits, 3 chart-topping albums, a Grammy Award for the Song of the Year, and his own record label, YSL, short for Youngthugtrial. I thought it stood for something else, and he got this TV going again, y'all. I don't understand. He is under Warner Music's 300 Entertainment. 2 years later, Thug, his real name is Jeffrey Williams, is set to face a grueling trial starting Monday, November 27th, over allegations he ran a violent Atlanta street gang that committed murders, carjackings, and many other crimes over the course of a decade. How old is Young Thug? Like, when did he start this young thugging? Y'all got to get me off of the mic. Who says things like that? When did he start this young thugging? Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Over a decade. Charges that, if proven, could send him to prison for decades. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, whose office is prosecuting the case, has said YSL wrote havoc on Atlanta area for nearly a decade. It does not matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is, Willis said hours after the superstar rapper was first arrested. Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele, says he's innocent. Mr. Williams committed no crime whatsoever. He just rapped about it and called himself a young thug. What do y'all think? Do you think, you know how rappers, they're always saying that they're doing bad things. They're always gloating about how they walk around with this gun and they shot this person and they robbed this person and they buried this person. Do you think some of what they're saying has some truth to it? Or do you think it's like they're just lying and they're just doing it for clout? I feel like it can go both ways, but when you start getting all into the detail, like what some of these rappers rap about, I feel like, you might be doing something, or maybe you're just very close to someone that's doing it, or maybe you're calling the shots, like you're rapping about how you call the shots. I don't know. I'm just a little lawyer girl on YouTube, okay? I don't call shots. I don't do anything. I know I said I'm a boss, but not that kind of boss. I'm not a mob boss. Kimmy Locker let us know that Young Thug is 32. Thank you for updating us on that. That's still young. 20, I mean, he was probably, let me be quiet. People start gangs a lot younger than that, okay? So let me be quiet, okay? The YSL case pits prosecutors. Oh, let me share the screen so y'all can read along if you prefer. YSL case pits prosecutors in America's rap capital against one of the country's biggest hip-hop artists, making it one of the music industry's most closely watched criminal cases in years. To get you up to speed before the trial, Billboard, thank you, Billboard, is explaining the YSL case. How did we get here? What exactly is the case about? And what comes next? Here's everything you need to know, which is good for our channel because we're trying to catch up before we get into the testimony, okay? And we're going to do the basics. We got a greatly crafted article that I didn't have to write myself. And so they're going to let us know what's going on. And then we're going to go ahead and get into our opinion on it, okay? In May 2022, Willis unveiled a 56-count indictment against Thug. against Thug, and 27 other members of YSL, an entity that she says is not really a record label called Young Stoner Life, but actually a violent Atlanta gang called Young Slime Life. That's what I thought it stood for, but I guess they changed the name in order to be more appealing to the masses as they create rap music. That's affiliated with the National Bloods gang. Okay. The case claims that since 2012, YSL members have committed a wide range of criminal wrongdoing centered on the Cleveland Avenue area of Atlanta, including murder, assault, robbery, theft, illegal gun possession, illegal drug possession, and sales and more. The prosecutor says that Thug was the clear leader of the organization. They've called him King Slime, who made YSL a well-known name by referring to it in his songs. In addition to Thug, the charges also target his co-star protege, Sergio Gunna Kitchen, who is still out here living his life, as well as DeMonte Yak Gotti, never heard of that person, Kendrick Arnold, Little Duke, Martinez Thug's brother, Quantavious Unfunk Greer, and many others. So a lot of people, friends, family, all involved is what the prosecution is alleging. The case is built on Georgia's racketeer influence and corrupt organization, gang activity, a law based on the more famous federal RICO statute that's been used to target the mafia, drug cartels, and other forms of organized crime. Such racketeering laws make it easier for prosecutors to sweep up members of an alleged criminal enterprise based on many individual actions. Which again, like I get it, and charging people for RICO, not wasting resources and having multiple trials and all of the things. But I just like, how could you focus on 65 charges and not everyone is charged with all 65 of the charges? Like that to me, and y'all know I'm not a criminal lawyer. That to me is crazy. Like we get cases in the family court where they'll come in and they'll be like, there's 3,000 counts of contempt. And I'm like, I am glad I do not handle contempt cases. And this one is 65. And I'm just like, how is the jury gonna focus? I see why this trial is going to be weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay. Some of the most serious accusations in the indictment center on the 2015 killing of Donovan Big Nut, which is a weird nickname, but to each their own, Thomas Jr., who prosecutors say ran a rival gang in Atlanta. 5 YSL members are directly charged with the murder, while Thug himself is accused of renting the car. Who else rented a car? Rivera and Garcia in the Edelson case, okay? He is charged with renting. Young Thug is charged with renting the car, okay? That was used to commit the killing. So how did these young folks get your car? Prosecutors also say other members looked to Thug for leadership on serious crimes. In one allegation, the indictment claims that 2 other YSL members discussed how to obtain permission from the rapper before attempting to murder rival rapper YFN Lucci, Rashawn Bennett, while he was in jail. He's dead? Oh, I don't know. After an updated 65 count indictment was filed in August 2022, the star himself is now facing only 8 counts, including 1 count of participating in the RICO conspiracy, 1 count of participating in a criminal street gang, 3 counts of violating the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, and 1 count of possession of a firearm while committing a felony, and 1 count of possession of a machine gun. If you guys notice, he is not on trial for actual murder. So although a lot of the evidence is supposedly supposed to focus on one of the murders, he is not being charged with murder. I don't know if anyone is being charged with murder. I did not reread the indictment before getting on live. Where was I at here? Okay, so what happened to Gunna? If y'all don't know who Gunna is, he is also a rapper who was also initially charged in this case, who was let go pretty early on in the case, and everybody said all the same thing. He snitched to get off. That's what everyone is claiming. Who knows? He kind of snitched. He said some things. He said some things that the gang world probably would not appreciate and would probably cause snitching. In the 18 months since the YSL indictment was first handed down, many of the original 28 defendants have either accepted plea deals or been separated from the case for procedural reasons, leaving only 6 defendants to face trial this week. Just weeks ago, for instance, Durante, these names are interesting. Durante B. BB pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. So pleading guilty gets you off a little bit. 5 years sounds like nothing compared to what they're being accused of doing, right? The biggest plea came from Gunna, a critically acclaimed YSL artist who has frequently been described as Young Thug's protege. Last December, he took a so-called Alford plea, a legal maneuver that allows a defendant to enter a formal admission of guilt while still maintaining their innocence, which is odd. I'm not a criminal lawyer. That sounds crazy to me. You're admitting guilt, but maintaining your innocence. Basically, probably he knows something, but he's not admitting to him actually doing something. The deal made sense. Gunna had been charged in only one count of the indictment and faced far less serious accusations, mostly centered on his participation in music and social media that promoted YSL. So they're basically saying he was not a part of the actual gang activity. At the time, Gunna stressed that he had not agreed to work with prosecutors to convict Young Thug or any of the other defendants and had absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. But at the court hearing where he entered the plea deal, Gunna publicly acknowledged that YSL was both a music label and a gang. So that's what he's admitting to. Knowing about the gang, probably being involved in the gang to a certain extent. Let me see, where was I at? And he had personal knowledge that the members or associates of YSLs have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang. Okay, so there you go. He admits those things, but he's not saying he actually participated in it. Okay, why do I keep scrolling like that? Okay, here we go. That has led some backlash for the rapper, but true to his word, Gunna is not expected to testify at the upcoming trial. Citing an anonymous source, Rolling Stone reported in December that an understanding had been reached that the state is not going to call him as a witness, and if he were called, he would still be entitled to exercise his Fifth Amendment right to avoid answering questions. Who does that remind us of? Wendy Edelson. In the Edelson trial against her brother, has a right to, I don't think she had a full Fifth Amendment right, but just, I guess, technically, because anything said in that trial could not be used against her in her own trial, basically. Where are we at? Why are rap lyrics cited in court? And so this is what we talked about a little bit earlier. They are planning on citing some of the rap lyrics. Do you guys agree that that should be a thing? Should they be able to cite rap lyrics? Do you think he's telling the truth when he's making these raps? Do you think he's just kind of talking mess or trying to sound cool? That's what people are going to argue. I'm trying to sound cool. This is what sells. This is the music that sells. So I'm not saying I actually did these things. I'm just saying, I sound cooler when I say that I did these things. Let's see. Tanya D says, the Willis is no joke. Are you talking to, the DA? Sorry. Because it's the one lowercase. So I was like, the Willis. Come on, Brie, get it together. Yeah, I don't know. They went ahead and filed all of these lawsuits. Yo, I got it. Not done. Made it sound like she was a rapper too. Right. I'm like, exactly. The Willis, the rapper, right? Cracking up. Tiny says, that's ridiculous and very confusing having all of those charges together. Yeah, it's a lot. Not every one of them are being charged with every crime, but all 6 of them are on trial together. I don't know. And I've never sat through a trial like this. Apparently it works for people. Because my thing is like, if they find that Young Thug is not guilty, can they then, they can then find that everyone else is not guilty. Or they can say Young Thug had nothing to do with it. Why are you bringing it into him? It was all these 5 menaces that caused all of this nonsense. And my thing is like, how many years are they facing? Because to hold true to a gang, as y'all can tell, I'm not in a gang, okay? I couldn't. Kimmy Locker says there are 2 murder charges and 3 attempted murder charges in the indictment, but as you said, Young Thug wasn't charged with any of them. Okay, yeah, I did not re-review that part. I kind of skimmed. Okay, so yeah, there are some murder charges. So somebody on that bench, or not the bench, but someone in that courtroom is being charged with murder and attempted murder, or a couple of people probably. Kimmy Locker says, I don't think rap lyrics should be admissible, especially because a pretty good amount of lyrics aren't even from his songs. Okay, I don't know all the facts to the case. And one of the things that I think people find an issue with as far as like using rap lyrics is that there are people out there that rap about things that they have never ever done, but it sounds cool, right? They want to rap and they want to get everyone on their side. Why do we think being a thug and being a gangster is cool? I don't know, but it sells in music. So I'm in agreement with Kimmy. I don't know. I don't know if they shouldn't be used, but I think they had a good argument as far as it being artistic. And the court did put limits on admitting it. I would like to see what lyrics all are being used. I know I read through some of them, but I don't really listen to his music like that. So I don't know if they're all, I don't know if they're all his songs or not. And I know they're using like some statements from social media, which is different. They also, I thought that was also a thing where you couldn't use like social media posts because people are out here influencing, lying, saying, oh my gosh, you guys won't believe what I did yesterday, knowing they sat at home and edited the video yesterday and they went to the mall 3 days ago. But you know what I mean? People lie all the time on the internet. People lie all the time in music. How do we know? And that's why it's given to the jury to determine whether they should hold this as, not admissible, but whether this should be heavy evidence or whether it should be, like just push it to the side. He's just rapping. People could say he's just rapping. Who cares if he said that, right? Jazzy G says no to rap lyrics being used in trial. Okay. I see where everyone's coming from. And I think, like I said, I think they had a really good argument that it's free speech or artistic speech, like we talked about on Lizzo's trial the other week, or not trial, but her case. Was what she said artistic protection? No, you shoving a banana down your throat is not artistic protection during freaking practice when you're not singing about a banana, okay? So that's basically what Young Thug's attorney argued. The judge ruled against him. This judge is kind of mean. Well, no, he's not mean, but he's very serious about, he means what he says and he says what he means, okay? Fig says, Fig says, I don't think they should be use lyrical art as evidence. It's different than an actual confession. I would agree with that. And then guess what? Now I'm rapping a song. I like that line. Does that mean I did it? Are we going to start pushing all the way that way? I don't know. Him says, I think they need to show the writing credits if they present lyrics. That's another thing. We got ghostwriters out here. Are the ghostwriters, they talk about Drake and his ghost, they say Drake got a ghostwriter, but that's what they said, I'm not saying it's true, but that's what they said, right? So are the things that Drake say he does have a ghostwriter, should those things be used against him? That is a really, really good point, Him. I thought about it and it completely slipped my mind. So thank you for bringing that back. If someone else wrote the song, are we going to assume that Young Thug say, yeah, I did this to that person, and then the writer just wrote that down for him? Or are we going to say the writer came up with it on their own? Interesting points. Hella Swanky says, another member and moderator of the channel says, what up, Bree Hive? How is everyone? Bree, how are you? Good to see you. Nice to see you. Welcome into the live stream, y'all. If y'all haven't checked out Hella Swanky's other channel, she went live, okay? And it's all over my TikTok, blowing up on TikTok. Y'all better follow her. Comment your other channel's name. I don't want to say it wrong. So comment your other channel's name. Y'all better go follow Hella Swanky. Hella Swanky is live streaming now. Can I come on your show? No. Can I come on? I don't know much about it, but can I come? I just want to be present, okay? Diane says, if they can find an interview of him saying he is talking about his real life, then I can say it can be brought in. Otherwise, no. That's a really good point, Tanya D. Is he saying this is the life I rap about, the life that I live? I grew up in a tough life, and this is the life that I live. I did these things, or I know someone that did these things, so I'm telling my friend's story. Would that help him? I know my friend did these things, and so I'm rapping on his behalf, or something of that nature. That could be something. C-Ray J1 says the other issue is that there are more than one writer on these songs. Yes, exactly what him said. Who wrote the song? Did Young Thug actually write that song? Right? Or was he intending it? Like, what was his intent behind saying those things? I'm wondering if that's the element of it. Y'all are talking to a non-criminal attorney, so I'm asking questions just like y'all are. If he did write them, what was his intent in writing them, right? Is that something that's going to be looked at? Or if it's a random writer, are we then going to come put them on trial? Hella Slinky says, about to catch up on 2 times right quick, but before I do, hell no rap lyrics on any song lyrics should not be used in a trial. That's wild. The court said that they can. They did limit it to relevancy, which I guess is okay, but I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I've only watched a little bit of the trial, and as we go forward, I may change my opinion, but I don't think the judge really likes the defense. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't think the judge likes the defense. That's my opinion about it. I've only watched partial of the opening statement, so my mind can change later on, but he seems very annoyed with the defense, okay? In my opinion, right? Kimmy Locker says her channel is Black. I don't want to say, is it Sick or Seek on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And as you said, she's killing it. She is killing it, blowing up all over TikTok. I'm like, let me get my TikToks going. Kimmy, what are we doing? What are we doing? No, I need to get on Hella Swanky's vibe on keeping that TikTok content consistent. Love to see it. Hella Swanky says, you gotta follow more people on TikTok then, Bree. I have to follow more people to get more people? Hell yeah, you can come on. I'd be honored. We'll be having guests starting first quarter. Ooh, okay, first quarter. Okay, that's real business right there. I love it. First quarter 2024, you'd be perfect for one of our episodes. Well, let me know. I will be ready. You got to let me know in advance, though, because y'all know I'll be ready to go to sleep. I'll be ready to go to sleep. All right, Killer Swinky's going to catch up with us later on 2 times speed. Let's go ahead and jump back into the article so we can get a refresher. It's hecka hot in here. That's why I'm rolling up my sleeves. I might come out of the sweater in just a moment. It's hot in this house. I don't know what's going on. But all right, so let's go ahead and jump right back into the article. I'm trying to get some things going back here. Okay. Back into the article. What's going on with Young Thugs? Why are rap lyrics being cited in court? Thank y'all for the participation on that topic. I think you guys had some wonderful, wonderful perspectives on the topic. I think it's a slippery slope to get involved in if the prosecution or if the government is going to start allowing this. Are all of our favorite rappers going to go to jail? I don't know. Why are rap lyrics being cited in court? The YSL case is one of the most prominent examples of prosecutors using lyrics as evidence against the artists who wrote them, a controversial practice that has drawn backlash from civil liberty activists, defense attorneys, and increasingly the music industry. Critics say the use of lyrics as evidence unfairly treats rap as a literal confession rather than a work of creative expression, potentially violating the First Amendment. Even worse, they say rap can have a prejudicial effect on jurors, tapping into the existing biases towards young Black men and helping prosecutors win convictions where more concrete evidence is lacking. Oh, those are good points. I forgot to bring up. Those are good points. Who are most of our rappers? Most of our rappers are young Black men, right? They're also rapping about gang activity. I don't know if it's the majority of America, but what does America think when they see young Black men? They're probably going to think they're a ball player, a rapper, or a thug, right? We're not looking at Black young men, or people are not looking at Black young men and being like, oh yeah, he's for sure a doctor. that is not the first place that they're going majority of the time, right? They're going to assume that you're dangerous. I got to clutch my purse a little bit tighter, things like that. So I think that is a good point. Most rappers are young Black males, and then they're having their songs used against them when what sells? Sex sells for women, right? That's what sells for women, and violence, for whatever reason, sells for men. So are we taking away a whole art form for young Black men in their rap careers? Who knows? Who knows what this can lead to? California recently enacted first of its kind legislation restricting that practice, and Democrats, that's where I thought that was a law. It's California because we make sense over here in California. And Democrats in Congress have proposed a bill that would do the same in federal cases, an effort supported by major music industry groups. But the absence of such laws, courts around the country have mostly upheld the right of prosecutors to cite rap lyrics, particularly in gang-related cases. And who does that hurt? The people that are already systematically oppressed and in the jail system, and being systematically oppressed in the jail system. And we can use rap lyrics against them. I did read another article where they talked about a similar situation for what do they call it, like a skinhead, so it would be more of like a white supremacist versus Black people, and their music was used to convict them. But it's going to disproportionately affect Black people. I don't, maybe because I'm not a skinhead, maybe because I'm a Black person, I hear more like rap lyrics, but I've never heard a skinhead rap or sing a song about their white supremacy. But I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that make songs about their supremacy and all the things. So could it be used against other people, other groups of people? Sure, but it's going to disproportionately affect rappers. It's going to disproportionately affect Black people, or Black men, honestly. For her part in Fulton County, or where was I at? Okay. My thingy's not scrolling. Okay, here we go. For her part, the Fulton County District Attorney has offered no apologies. If you, what is this? No. Oh no, can y'all see that little box? We're having a little malfunction here. Okay, it's gone now. Okay. For her part, the Fulton County District Attorney has offered no apologies. If you decide to admit your crimes over a beat, that's kind of funny. If you decide to admit your crimes over a beat, I'm going to use it, Willis said last year. I have some legal advice. Don't confess to crimes on rap lyrics if you do not want them used, or at least get out of my county. And that is another valid point for prosecution. Why are you saying these things? To look cool? That can make you become liable for a crime. And right now, it's legal to use the lyrics. Right now, it's legal in Atlanta and Georgia, and not in California, okay? But right now, it's legal. So why are we not being more careful? Are you rapping about your experience? Then I think she has a point if you are actually rapping about your experience. Let me see here in the backstage. Okay, thank you very much, Kimmy, for the new indictment. Here we go. Where were we at? At the climatic pretrial hearing earlier this month, Thug's lawyer blasted prosecutors for attempting to use creative expression to convict his client. He's basically wanting the Georgia court to follow California precedent. They are targeting the right to free speech, and that's wrong, he said. They are saying that just because he is singing about it, he is now a part of a crime. That is exactly what they are saying. Prosecutors argued back that lyrics were proclamations of violence by alleged gang members, making them highly relevant to proving that YSL was an illegal criminal enterprise. The issue here is not rap, one Fulton County attorney argued. This is not randomly the state attempting to bring in Run DMC from the 80s. This is specific. These are party admissions. These just happen to come in the form of lyrics. They just happen to come in the form of lyrics. They are party admissions. Are you offering? Is it hearsay because you're offering to prove the truth of the matter asserted? Yes, but is there an exception? The DA says yes, there is an exception. It's being offered by a person who is being accused. That is an exception to hearsay. Oh gosh, we lost our article. No, we lost our article. We're not done yet. Oh my gosh. Let's try to get it back here. All right, let me go ahead and see. It had been trying to shut down for several minutes, but I was not letting it go, and we're not going to let you go. We're opening you back up, and we're going to get down to the nitty gritty on this one. Okay, so here we are. Please don't shut down again. Okay, we're back. We are back with the non-technical issues at this point. Okay, so prosecutors argue, okay, nope, we already covered that part. In the end, Judge Uriel Glanville sided with prosecutors and allowed the lyrics to be used in the case because that's what the precedent is in their state, repeatedly telling Thug's lawyer that the First Amendment is not on trial in the case. File a constitutional law case. They're not prosecuting your clients because of the songs they wrote. They're using the songs to prove other things your client may have been involved in. I don't think it's an attack on free speech. Judge is saying you can say whatever the heck you want in your song. They're not saying you can't say those things. What they're saying is you're admitting to crimes when you say those things. Basically, I think that is about, there's valid points on each side. Does it suck for the person that just said it to be cool? Yeah, I think it does. But I think the judge and the prosecution have a point there. It is an exception to hearsay. It is. Okay. What took so long to get to trial? The case against YSL is almost unfathomably complex. Yes, because you got 6 freaking defendants. And I don't even think this is really long. Only 2 years to get the trial. I don't think that's that bad. So much so that it has repeatedly strained the local legal system nearly to a breaking point. With 28 men originally indicted, finding lawyers for all of them a constitutional requirement proved difficult. According to Atlanta Journal-Constitution, prosecutors secured millions in extra funding in bringing huge gang cases, but Georgia's public defense system did not receive equal funding to keep up. That forced the state to contract with numerous private defense attorneys to help cover the YSL case, but even that arrangement nearly fell apart this past spring over inadequate pay because criminal attorneys that are not on the public defender list are going to charge you an arm and leg, okay? The state does not get an exception, okay? Jury selection was even harder. With the trial expected to last as long... Let me read that again. With the trial expected to last as long as a year. If I'm guessing that's if all 28 people were convicted, because a year, the trial was expected to last a year. That is crazy, crazy long. Okay, it proved nearly impossible to find a dozen people who could drop their financial commitments and halt their lives for that long, and they're not paying these jury members. The selection process started in January with hopes that the trial could kick off in the spring, but it eventually took more than 10 months by most accounts, the longest ever jury selection in the Georgia state history. Throughout all of that, Young Thug and the other defendants have been sitting in jail. Though Thug's attorney argued that he should be placed under house arrest, Judge Glanville repeatedly refused to grant him bond. You thought they were going to let you out, didn't you, buddy? Swayed by arguments from prosecutors that doing so would increase the risk of witness intimidation. Your whole songs is about you bullying people, right? Robbing people, all the things. How is Donald Trump involved? I didn't even know this was a thing, but let's figure out how Donald Trump is involved. If the words of Fannie Willis and Rico sound familiar, they should. She's using the very same statute to bring an even higher profile case against Trump and others over alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Back in August, a Fulton County grand jury in August indicted Trump and 18 others over accusations that they participated in a criminal scheme to try to keep the Republican in the White House after he lost the presidential election to Democrat Joe Biden. Several co-defendants in the case have recently pled guilty to lesser charges, including former Trump's lawyers Sidney Powell and Jenna Ellis. So sounds like Trump is coming up on you. Willis recently proposed on August 24th trial, or an August 2024 trial for the case, a timeline that can mean that both YSL trial and the Trump trial would be happening simultaneously. Like the YSL case, this better not last a year. Y'all, this case better not last a year. Oh my gosh. The DA expects the election trial to last many months. Trump's lead attorney, Steve Sato, represented Gunna in the YSL case. Why do they all have the same attorneys? Negotiated his plea deal to end his involvement. What do prosecutors need to prove in order to win this case? As with all criminal cases, the burden is on the prosecutor to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Let's get it together. As with all criminal cases, the burden is on prosecutors to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Thug and others did what they're accused of, meaning jurors must be virtually certain that they're guilty before they vote to convict. To prove the core RICO charges, the DA office will need to show a pattern of racketeering activity by the YSL members, meaning they conspired to run an illegal enterprise or a racket. Prosecutors will need to do so by detailing more than 150 acts that were allegedly carried out in furtherance of the conspiracy. Some of those will be what are called predicates, meaning actions that would be crimes on their own. There's a typo, like the Donovan murder. But others will merely be overt acts, meaning any concrete steps that YSL members took to help the legal enterprise, even if it isn't a crime on its own. That's where social media posts and song lyrics come into the case. Also, the thing about renting the car and potentially Young Thug being the person that rented the car and then the car later being used in a murder. Importantly, prosecutors don't need to show that every defendant knew about every element of the YSL operations. They only need to prove that each YSL member knew about the conspiracy and agreed to be a part of it and took at least 2 actions to further RICO. RICO is best known for the federal law that was created in 1970s to target mob bosses who didn't directly commit crimes themselves, which they are alleging Young Thug is basically the mob boss in this case. But many states have passed their own versions. The Georgia's passed in 1981 is notably broader than the federal version. It has a longer list of crimes that can serve as predicates, and it covers shorter-term criminal conspiracies than the federal law. Willis is very familiar with Georgia's RICO statute. In addition to using it against YSL and former President Trump, she also recently brought a RICO case against a gang that allegedly robbed an Atlanta homes of celebrities like Mariah Carey. And back in 2014, she was the assistant DA. Willis served as the lead prosecutor in a RICO case against a group of Atlanta educators over their role in a widespread cheating and on standardized tests. Following an 8-month trial, okay, they're just giving kind of a back play. They are asking, how is the trial going to play out? It says starting first thing on Monday, the 6 remaining defendants, Thug, why they gotta call him Thug and give everybody else regular names, Thug, Marquavius, Huey, DeMonte, Gotti, Kendrick, Cromary, these names, Rodalius, Ryan, Quamarvius, Nichols, Shannon, that's a pretty normal name. What are these names? Marquavius. Okay, whatever. The jury is composed of 7 black women, 2 white. Well, geez, Louise. The jury is composed of 7 black women, 2 white women, 2 black men, and 1 white man. Geez, they did not trust the white man in this one. We'll hear opening arguments for both sides, and the DA's office will begin calling witnesses. According to a report by Atlanta 11 Alive, prosecutors said in court earlier this month that their list of potential witnesses include a stunning 737 names featuring 258 lay witnesses. Lay witnesses are regular people who can testify to what they saw, and 479 expert witnesses. Wow. Who would explain the complex issues to the jurors? 479 expert witnesses. That's a lot of expert witnesses. That's a lot of money, okay? Eventually, the defendants will get a chance to call their own witnesses. In a recent legal filing, Thug listed amongst his potential witnesses rappers, T.I., Killer Mike, as well as music business executive Lear Cohen, who co-founded 300 Entertainment. Thug's attorneys will also call their own expert witnesses to counter the testimony of the government. If convicted on the RICO charges, the defendant can face prison sentences lasting anywhere from 5 to 20 years. All of this for only 5 to 20 years? That's a lot of energy for that short of a time, but I guess. But Thug and others also face separate charges over other specific crimes that, if proven, could add additional prison time to the eventual sentence, to any eventual sentence. That makes sense. Okay, so we are all caught up on what the case is about, how we got here. What do y'all think? I already know y'all think we shouldn't be able to use the lyrics against them. I do think that the prosecutor and the judge has a point that it is an exception to hearsay. And I understand the whole freedom of speech argument, but I also agree with the judge that they're not really attacking what your person is saying and saying that you shouldn't be able to rap about these things and you shouldn't be able to tell kids these things. What they're saying is that you're admitting to a crime. That's your problem. If you didn't want it to be used against you, then don't say it. Just like if you don't want to go to jail, you don't do the crime. Don't say the line if you can't do the time. Look at me. Don't say the line if you can't do the crime. Okay, we came up with a new slogan. No, it's not a slogan. Okay. Let me go ahead and see what the chat is saying. Uh-oh. Ooh, y'all. I almost ended the stream on us. Okay, let me see here. I'm just getting to the chats that I haven't already looked at that Kimmy starred for us. Okay, where are we at here? All right, so we got Sokotoa. Hello, welcome into the live stream. Nice to see you today. Saying that doesn't hold water, in my opinion. It could be showboating. I agree with you, and it's going to be up to the attorneys to cast reasonable doubt that Young Thug is a liar. He lied about doing these activities. He lied about doing these crimes. Yeah, he knows so-and-so, but he didn't tell them to go kill that person. He didn't tell them to go rob that person. Although he did say it in the song, he was doing it to sound cool. He looked up to those people, or those people looked up to him, or whatever it may be. It's going to be up to his attorneys to say, yeah, he said it, but it wasn't the truth, right? And his attorneys have to do that. Jazzy G says, I think they need other proof, though. Can't just use what's said in. Oh, yeah, of course. They cannot just use what is said in the song. Basically, what they're going to do, I forget the person's name, but it was some kind of name with a T. Basically, what this person with the name with a T, he took a plea deal. And in his plea deal, he admitted, Young Thug said, and this is me trying to remember what was said. This may not be the exact thing that was done or said or the exact person, okay? So just bear with me here. So basically what's going on is they're going to call witnesses, and this particular witness is going to say, my name is Lil Tay, right? My name is Lil Tay, and when Young Thug said in his song that I told Lil Tay to rob that fool, he was talking about me, and I did go and rob that fool for Young Thug. Right? So that's how they're going to admit the song. Yes, those lyrics are true, They are true because it was actually about me and I actually did that crime, but I'm only in jail for 5 years because I went ahead and took a plea deal, right? So they're going to have to use other evidence, but they're going to use it as a part. They're going to use the lyrics in order to basically prove the truth, because the defense is going to say, no, he didn't really do that. He was just playing, y'all. He was just playing. He didn't really do those things. It was a ghostwriter that wrote that. He didn't really do those things. But when you say, oh yeah, it was a ghostwriter that wrote that, but then Little Tay comes forward and say, no, I'm Little Tay, and I was at Young Thug's grandma's house, and he told me to go rob JoJo down the street. So I went to rob JoJo down the street to get the TV that JoJo had. And here is the evidence of the TV once we robbed JoJo from the street. Then they're going to say, oh, okay, yeah, no, he was the gang leader, right? He did have something to do with it. So yeah, they can't just use the song lyrics. Him says, and she has one against the protesters of Cop City. Oh yeah, so she's working. She's going to be known for the RICO charges. Tanya D says, so RICO is her thing. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. She's going, and it's like almost back to back is what it feels like right now. Tanya D says, this trial could take a year with all of those. I thought they meant a year with the 28 people. And that's why I said, how could people focus on that? There is no way. There's 6 defendants, 65 charges. Not all of them are involved in the charges. Now we got 500 some odd witnesses, and 478 of them are experts that are going to be boring as heck. Most of them are going to be boring as heck on the stand. I said I was going to cover this case because I thought it was going to be like a month. I did not think it was going to be a year, okay? I did not think it was going to be a year. Hopefully we can keep up with it, though. We will see. Oh, snap. I lost my stars. Okay, Kimmy is doing something strange. Kimmy says, there's no way jury pay could sufficiently cover a year's worth of jury expenses. I don't get it. And it doesn't. And that's why they said it took a long time for them to actually find a jury. In my opinion, I feel like they still brought the case to trial still pretty quickly. Only 2 years. So let's see here. Okay, makes sense. All right. Hella Slinky says, Bree, you got me giggling. I was saying to follow more on TikTok so our content wasn't flooded. Oh. That makes sense. This project has been in development for over 2 years and we're coming in hot. I am proud of you. You're doing a good job. It's very interesting. Like, you get people pulled in and listening and liking and commenting and saving. I know I am. Okay. So you're doing a good job. Hello, Songy says, and Bree, I'll DM you to talk details, schedule you to come on Black Sick, pronounced Black and Sick. Okay, Black and Sick. Okay, got it. Thank you so much. Yeah, y'all, if y'all are not following Hella Swanky, make sure you do. I'm telling y'all, the content is good, okay? Killing it over there on TikTok, and I haven't been able to watch the full live stream. I've just been watching the clips. But y'all check it out. Get that watch time up. Hit the like button. Get her to 1,000 subscribers so she can get monetized. Need 4,000 watch hours. Let's do it. Okay, Bree Hive, let's do it. Okay, so that was the end of the article, right? So let's go ahead and do. All right, we're changing our scene now. Okay, so next thing that we're going to go through is the indictment that Kimmy just got for me that I haven't pulled up yet, but that's okay. We're going to pull it up because she highlighted it for us. So thank you for that and getting us on track here. So I'm just trying to download it for us so that we can view it and not spend, because like this thing is what? How long is this one? This one is 95 freaking pages of accusing these people of doing bad things. Okay, I know you highlighted it for me, but just to show the extent of the charges that are being brought, we're going to read through all 65 of the charges. So bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. There's 65 charges, 28 defendants, but Young Thug was only charged with 6 or 7 things. Let's see here. Okay, let's go through it. All right, so we have a re-indictment, And these are all the people here. We have Jeremy, or his name is Jeffrey, right? Jeffrey somebody. Sergio Kitchens, that's aka Gunna. They got Yak Gotti. They got Slime Life Shoddy. They got Nard. This person is also Nard and aka Stunner. We got some cool nicknames going on here. We got Set Trip / J-Man, Quay. We got Lil Rod. We got Monk Tunk. Okay. We got Tick Slug. Shannon Jackson also goes by Shannon Stillwell, also go by SB. We got Obama, not y'all going by Antonio Sumlin is known as Obama. And then we got Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, aka Slime, and I think they also call him King Slime. We got Jimmy Winfrey, who is Roscoe, also known as Roscoe. So they got some pretty cool nicknames. I'll give them that. I'll give them the cool nicknames. But Bobby Hunt, these names are like, they don't relate to them at all. And some of them do relate. But I have to give it to them. There's some pretty cool nicknames on there, but you know, they're over here getting in trouble for bad things, so I can't really promote it, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into it. We got conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act. That one is brought against Young Thug. Remember, we're mostly focusing on him because he's the famous person in the lawsuit. We got murder for somebody. We got robbed armory, or we got robbed armory. Breathe. How did you read robbed armory? Where do you see that? Armed robbery. We have armed robbery. We got aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. We got aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. We got a possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, theft by receiving stolen property, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, participating in criminal street gang activity, theft by receiving stolen property, armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, hijacking a motor vehicle in the first degree. There's different degrees of hijacking. Oh, I guess if you use a gun in one and you just steal it while it's parked is another. So yeah, I see why there's degrees to that. They're not all the same horrible. If you just steal a, running car from someone's driveway versus pointing a gun at someone's face and stealing their car, yeah, they should probably be different degrees. Possession of a firearm during a commission of a felony, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, participation in criminal street gang activity, participation in criminal street gang activity multiple times, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, again, participation in criminal street gang activity, armed robbery, hijacking of a motor vehicle in the first degree. Guess they don't like doing third degree. Everything's first degree. Possession of a firearm by first offender probationer. Possession of a firearm by convicted felon. Theft by taking OCJGA. Theft by taking. Oh, that's the code. That's the code. Attempted murder, possession of a firearm by a first offender probationer, possession of a firearm by a first offender probationer, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, participation in criminal street gang activity ×2, attempted murder again, possession of a weapon by an incarcerated individual. What? Hey, incarcerated individual. I guess you got you can create contraband. Participation in criminal street gang activity ×2. Possession of a weapon. Another possession of a weapon by an incarcerated individual. Possession of a telecommunication device by an incarcerated individual. Participation in criminal street gang activity again. Conspiracy to commit a crime. Participation in a criminal street gang activity again, murder again, participation in a criminal street gang activity ×2 again, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, previously convicted of felony involving the use of a possession of a firearm, possession of a firearm by convicted felon, previously convicted of felony involving the use of possession of a firearm, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, conspiracy to commit a crime, participation in the criminal street gang times 2. And the yellow highlighted ones are the ones that Young Thug is being accused of. So times 2, violation of the Georgia controlled substance. I talk about all the typos. I can't even talk. Times 3, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, possession of a machine gun, geez Louise, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, previously convicted of felony involving the use of a possession of a firearm. That is a long name, and that is times 3, brought on August 5th of 2022. And then we have all of these, whether they waive the indictment for people to sign off on. We have the grand jurors listed. We got the grand jurors aforesaid for count 1, and the name of and on behalf of the citizens of Georgia do charge and accuse all of these people, including Young Thug, for conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corruption or Corrupt Organization Act. This is basically the whole RICO lawsuit. They basically participated with each other. We have part 1, the conspiracy. Okay, let me actually go through this part. So they're being charged with violating RICO. It says 4 said accused together with unindicted co-conspirators in the state of Georgia and county of Fulton on or between the 24th day of January 2023 or 2013, geez Louise, and 8th day of May 2022 did unlawfully conspire to acquire, maintain directly and indirectly an interest in and control the United States currency and other personal property through a pattern of racketeering activity in violation of the statute, and while associated with an enterprise did unlawfully conspire to conduct and participate in directly and indirectly such enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity in violation of the statute as described below and incorporated by reference as if fully set forth herein, contrary to the law and state and said state and good order, peace, and dignity thereof. They start off with conspiracy. Oh, this one looks different than the other one. I like the other one. Okay, but we're going to go through it because Kimmy so lovelyly highlighted it for us. So the conspiracy, as associates of the enterprise Young Slime Life, known as YSL here and after, the defendants conspired to associate together and with others for the common purpose of illegally obtaining money and property through a pattern of racketeering activity and conducted and participated in the enterprise through a pattern of racketeering activity. In furtherance of the conspiracy, the defendants engaged in the activities enumerated herein. The objectives of the conspiracy included but were not limited to preserving, protecting, and enhancing the reputation, power, and territory of the enterprise through acts of racketeering activity, including murder, assault, and threats of violence, preserving and enhancing the reputation by posting messages, images, videos, songs, demonstrating allegiance to the enterprise and willingness to engage in violations on their behalf. They also did all the same thing to make the reputation and power towards. They used violence to do the things. They obtained money, weapons, and other property through acts of racketeering activity, including robbery, theft, and unlawful sale and distribution of drugs, and obstruction of law enforcement investigation and court proceedings through witness intimidation and attacks upon law enforcement officers. So they are accusing them of getting money, harming people, and also interfering with investigations in furtherance of their RICO organization or their gang. The enterprise. YSL is an enterprise consisting of a group of individuals associated, in fact, although not a legal entity. They're not a corporation. They don't have an LLC. YSL constitutes an ongoing organization whose associates function as a continuing unit for the common purpose of achieving the objectives of the enterprise. They have a history. They go through the identifiers. I'm not going to go through all of this. If y'all want it, let me know. I can send it to you. Kimmy did such a great job highlighting it for us. acts in furtherance of the conspiracy, in furtherance of the conspiracy and to effect of its objectives and purpose, the defendants committed and caused to be committed, among others, the following overt acts, certain of which constitute racketeering activity. They go all the way from 2013, literally. Let's see what the first one even says. Defendant Trotavius Stephens. Where are they getting these names from? Trotavius Stephens, an associate of YSL, did commit the felony offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, to wit, the firearm, against the person Reginald Pettis by pointing at, towards, and in the direction of Reginald with said firearm, placing Reginald in a reasonable apprehension of immediately receiving violent injury. So this one is for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. They go ahead and say that Young Thug committed a felony offense by theft of receiving stolen property. This had to do with when he possessed property, to wit, a firearm, the property of Andrew Phillips and Ann Phillips, that Williams knew or should have known was stolen with the intent of depriving Andrew Phillips and Ann Phillips of said property in violation of the act and under the racketeering. We got another armed robbery in 2013, another aggravated assault in 2013. All of the things. We also have Jeffrey Williams, again, Young Thug, did appear in a video released on social media titled Ill, where defendant states, "Red just like Elmo, but I never effing giggle." I don't know what that's supposed to relate to. YSL, oh, I guess that's admitting that he's a blood. Is that what they're gonna try to say? Red like Elmo, but I never effing giggle. Okay. YSL won't fold. Pick his A off from the balcony. So that would relate to shooting someone, I would assume. YSL wipe a inward nose. Oh, you know what? We get to use our what do we get to use? We get to use our I can't hear it. Can y'all hear my soundboard thing? I don't know what's going on here now. Can y'all hear me? Okay, for whatever I did last time, and I can't hear it. But if y'all can hear it, I guess that's oh, I think I know what I did. I think it's this. No, it's not that, it's this one. Okay. No. I don't know what's wrong with it. I broke it again. I don't know what I did with it. Okay, let's go on. I can't hear the beeping, but you guys can hear the beeping. Okay, so it said YSL won't fold. Pick his up off from the balcony. YSL wipe a nose. I'm for the cash. Then she getting robbed by Tick. I think that was Tick. Tick was the one who said it was him. No, I might be lying. Don't believe me on that. In a Bentley on Wesley, getting trailed by a sniper. All I ever wanted was the money, but your hands in the air if you dare. Any mother to step over here, in, put him in a wheelchair, an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. I don't know if that is an overt, and making that statement is an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. I could potentially be wrong on that. I'm kind of annoyed that I can't hear my my beeping. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I'm supposed to be able to hear it, but for whatever reason, I can't. So I could hear the other stuff earlier, but now I can't hear it, and now it's making me mad. They go ahead and show this guy posing with his little tattoo on his head, saying YSL for life. Okay. They got some other things with the assault with a deadly weapon. Got more pictures. We got Trontavious again. We got Young Thug, an associate of YSL, did pose for a photo released on social media wearing red clothing and flashing a YSL gang hand sign, an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. We can't really see the picture that well, so I don't know how helpful that is. We got defendant Dame Keon Garlington and Young Thug, associates of YSL, did pose for a photo released on Garlington's Instagram account with the caption, "We ain't going back and forth," an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy, basically trying to assert that they are tough. They're not going to argue with you. They're just going to handle business. Okay. Making it sound extra square in here. We got defendant Jeffrey Williams, also known as Young Thug, an associate of YSL, did rent a 2014 Silver Infiniti Q50 sedan from Hertz Rent-A-Car, which was used in the commission of the murder of Donovan Thomas, an associate of a rival gang, on the 10th day of January 2015, which is an act of racketeering activity under the statute and an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. We got some other things about the actual murder. This is the actual murder of Donovan Thomas. And then we have these other 5 defendants who I believe are already in jail. Unlawful malice with a forethought with an intent to kill, commit offense for attempted murder on Reginald Hendricks, is that the same guy? No, there was Reginald Pettis. They don't like the Reginalds, I guess. They had attempted murder on Cardarius Sanders, a rival gang member. They shot him with a firearm. And the other one, they shot him with a firearm, but didn't kill him, I guess. Participation in a street gang for all the other people. Let's see. They got more stuff. Convicted with firearms. Young Thug and Kyle O'Ree, one of the leaders of the criminal street gang Sex Money Murder. Where are they getting these street names or these gang names from? Did engage in a conversation with one another, and the conversation stated sacrifices must be made. Soldiers must fall in order for battle to be won. The conversation further states 5 H020 Street Life, a bunch of other things that I don't know what they're talking about. Anybody not under one of these individuals in the state of Georgia must line up PSAP. There is no rolling from one to the other. Everything is as if you are one. Sex, money, murder. Nothing added and nothing taken away. 2 guns, an overt act in the conspiracy. Their conversation, I guess. Don't know what any of that means, but they do, and that's all that matters. Defendant Young Thug did appear in a video released on Garland's Instagram account 16 days after the murder of Donovan Thomas, stating that N-word. Lie to their mama, lie to their kids, lie to their brothers and sister, then get right into the courtroom and tell the God honest truth. Don't get it. Y'all N-words need to get effing killed, bro. Some from me and YSL and avert. Y'all need to get killed from me and YSL. Okay. Young Thug also did appear in a video release on Garlington's Instagram account displaying YSL gang hand signs and blood gang signs with the caption, "You dig 30 YSL coming soon," and with an X instead of a C, I guess. An overt act. So they're basically gloating online at this point. Young Thug, he posed for another photo on Garlington's Instagram account. So they've been following them this long, or did they just go back in time to see it? We also got attempted murder of Dexter Montgomery for shooting Dexter with a firearm. They like to shoot people, apparently. Another attempted murder of Cornelius Davis by shooting Cornelius Davis with a firearm. We got another attempted murder of D'Angelo White by shooting D'Angelo White with a firearm. Jeez Louise, and these ones are not actually being brought against Young Thug. Another attempted murder of Christian James by shooting Christian James with a firearm. who are these people? Why are they shooting so many people? Possession of a firearm, and then they also did a robbery on this one. Okay, this one got all the drugs in there. Let's kind of scroll and see if we can find some more things that Young Thug did. Because if all of this is true, innocent until proven guilty, this is some menacing stuff. Like, these people are on one for sure. For sure. Okay. Young Thug did commit a felony offense of terroristic threats. I don't remember reading that above. When Christopher May, a security officer, while in the performance of his duties, attempted to inform Williams that he was no longer welcome at Perimeter Mall, Williams then stated if May continued to approach, Williams would shoot him in the face with a gun in violation of the Georgia law, which is in furtherance of the racketeering. That is a bit aggressive. They had marijuana with intent to distribute. Trontavious, surprise, had possession of the firearm and he was a convicted felon. Oh my gosh, this stuff is out of control. Jeffrey Williams or Young Thug released a song on YouTube titled Slime, where lyrics state, hey, this that slime, hey, YSL, hey, killing 12, hey, F a jail, hey, cooking right brick. I'm not a rapper, y'all. I'm not new to this, hey, so I'm true to this, hey. I done put a whole slime on 100 licks. Slime or get slimed. I'm in the VIP. I got that pistol on my hip. You praying that you live. I'm praying that I hit. Hey, that slime. F the police, F them. In a high speed 100 rounds in a Tahoe. I'm prepared to take them down. Got bandana clips for all these acting monkey. This the mob S. F the judge. I don't think the judge is going to like that one. F the judge, YSL, this the mob life in an overt act of the conspiracy. I don't know if that's a good song, but hey, he made it onto YouTube with that nonsense. Okay, let's see. We got Gunna and a Young Thug. Theft by receiving stolen property. They possess property to wit a firearm, the property of Trayvon Lewis, that Kitchen and Williams knew or should have known was stolen with an intent of depriving Trayvon Lewis of the property. They also have possession of methamphetamine, both Gunna and Young Thug. They had meth with the intent to distribute the controlled substance. They also possess hydrocodone with the intent to distribute. They also possess marijuana with the intent to distribute. Gunna, along with Young Thug, participated in criminal street gang activity while associated with a criminal street gang, to wit, YSL participate in criminal street gang activity through the commission of at least one offense of the enumerated paragraph: receiving stolen property, possession of meth, possession of hydrocodone, possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. Antonio Sumlin and Jeffrey Williams did appear in a video released on social media captioned "Original Slime S-word," showing Williams flashing YSL gang signs and stating "Murder Gang B-word, YSL until we're dead and pale." YSL until we're dead and pale. Okay. In 2018, Young Thug released a song on YouTube titled "Anybody" with Williams stating, "I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with the body. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the body. I told them to shoot 100 rounds like they trying to movie the body. Ready for war like I'm Russian. I'll get all type of cash. I'm a general." An overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. That's one of the songs that I actually know about him. It's a pretty catchy way in the way that he's saying it. But is he going to be able to prove that he was just kidding? Was he just kidding? Why did he say those things? Young Thug also was the subject of a traffic stop for speeding, involved in a stop where two vehicles, one being driven by Young Thug and another vehicle closely following Williams, containing 4 individuals who were armed with numerous weapons with high-capacity magazines, including the AK-47 with 30 rounds magazines in a overt act of the conspiracy. So he's driving around by himself and he got his friends following behind him. Young Thug did appear in a video released on YouTube titled Bad Boy, stating, "I shot at his mommy. Now he no longer mentioned me. I had Margielas when I shot at the act like you want war and they gonna smoke you like a blunt." An overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. The lyrics. Okay, I see. Is there anything else with Jeffrey? He is like the only one with a normal name. Freaking Jeffrey. Oh no, they got Miles Farley. I guess that's a pretty normal name. He posted an image on social media tagging Rashawn Bennett, aka YFN Lucci, stating, YFN, if they don't speak English, YFN, if ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have been killed you. Wow. Okay. That's something to post on the internet and on social media. Okay. Young Thug, it appeared in a YouTube video titled Just How It Is, with Williams stating, "I escaped every one of the licks because I was supposed to be rich. I don't care nothing about no cop. I'm telling you just how it is. Hit him with a Mac now. Now his whole body's scabbed. I done for the crew. I done did the robbing. I done did the jacking. Now I'm full rapping. Last N-word tried me, almost got popped in Linux. Ask the cops, ask the detectives. They know all the business. Ask the cops and the detectives all the jurisdictions. Gave the lawyer close to $2 million. He handles all the killings. We don't speak about S-word on wax. It's all mob business. We know to kill the biggest cats of all kittens." Okay. Rap songs talking about murder and that he is basically the boss. They did engage in a conversation. Young Thug did engage in a conversation where Williams and Huey were discussing a vehicle theft, and Williams directed Huey to tell another, if he don't take it back, he gonna die. Wow. So they got one of they cars stolen, and then he told him, if you don't go get the car back, you're gonna die, basically. Okay. Selling marijuana, possession of cocaine. Let's see more social media posts. This is absolutely ridiculously long. Defendant DeMonte Kendrick, Gunna, and Young Thug appeared in a video released on YouTube titled Take It to Trial, with lyrics stated, "Take this S-word to a mother effing trial." They taking it to trial. Yes, they are. I rep my life for real. Your song is saying that you're being serious about what you're saying. That's not a good idea. For Slimes, you know I kill. You know I kill. Trial, I done beat it twice. He's beat Trial twice. Thank you. State, I'm undefeated like feds came and snatched me. I don't know. No point in asking. I was on Cleveland, stuck like a magnet. B-A-N-word. I shoot at your mommy. Why is he always shooting at somebody's mother? This is like the third time that we read that. Need to stand down. I'm up. I up my stamina. Take it to trial. Get an appeal. Take it to trial. Yeah, you gonna whack them. Pay for that casket. That's just if we whack them. My young N-words pulling up. Bentleys, Aston Martins, Raris, and Teslas. You pulling up in a Tesla? Strapped with an F, Choppas, Carbons, YSL, Slimy and Shady. Watch me whack the B, pop them like assist, Glock with the assist. Okay. Young Thug also engaged in conversation with Young Thug engaged in a conversation that stated, YSL ruled the world, kid. 24M on my N-word head. I guess 24 mil on my N-word head. Y'all just start bringing me money. Man, y'all N-word stop playing with me. And an overt act on social media. Okay, let me go ahead and jump into the chat and see what y'all got to say, because I feel like I'm getting slower as I read these things. Yes, Tiny D. The names are outrageous. Young Thug actually has a pretty normal name. So I see why he changed it to Young Thug to be a part of the crew because Jeffrey Williams wasn't cutting it among these names. Trontavious is killing me. And that name is everywhere. We got Diamante. I guess that one's not that bad. Marquavius. It's a lot. Terroristic threats. Okay. Let's see. Tiny D says, dang, they're bringing all the charges. Literally all the charges. They listed everything. Hello, Swinky says to Tiny D, I said the same thing. Oh yeah, the names are out of control and a hell of a lot of charges. I don't envy anyone involved in this trial. They said it could take a year. So I said I was gonna follow the trial, but a year is a little it's a little much for me, and I don't want to put a target on my back. Okay. Hello, Swanky says, TH or the hell did they manage to get that jury makeup? 7 Black women, and was it multiple Black men? What? I think it was 3 Black men trying not to get their clients convicted. I can tell you that. The defense probably was vetoing every white person they saw, even though a lot of the lawyers are white for the defendants. Tiny D says, I recently watched a documentary on John Gotti, and they went through each thing they need to bring a RICO charge. Very interesting. And that's what I'm like, how are you even going to remember all of these charges? These charges are a lot. But I feel like the more they throw at them, the defendant or the jury is just going to probably start being like, yeah, they did it. It's no way. All of these people know each other and they're constantly involved in all of these bad things. I feel like that's what the RICO charges are for, so that they can basically get an easier conviction. Yeah, renting the rental car is not bad in itself, but if the rental car was then used to go and kill somebody, then yeah, that's a pretty big problem that we would want resolved, right? Tiny D says, so are they saying that he was the mastermind behind all the acts? They basically are saying he was like the shot caller. He was one of the leaders. He might not have been behind every single act, but he was one of the leaders. Kimmy Locker says, I don't think they're necessarily saying he was the mastermind behind all of the acts, but he was the leader of this, literally what I just said. Alleged gang that committed all of them. Yes, exactly. Tanya D says, have y'all hit the like button? Oh yeah, I forgot to say, if y'all haven't hit the like button, please do if you haven't already. Tanya D says, if you haven't, take a second and do that right now. Bree appreciates your support. Yes, of course I do. We're at 26 likes with 21 people watching live. So yes, of course, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps us out in the algorithm, helps us get more friends, and we have a good time over here. Okay, let's go ahead. See, Kimmy Locker says, how is the presence of a weapon in a car that's following Young Thug's car considered an overt act he committed? A lot of these are super weak to me, but that's a little extra wild. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think what they're trying to say is basically he had all the I don't know how they all got pulled over at once. That's a little strange to me. But the fact that they were following him, maybe this is what they can spin it as. He was leading them to where they needed to go to shoot up, basically, but he was not going to get his hands dirty because he's the famous one or he's the one that's the leader. He's not going to get his hands dirty, but he's going to drive him and be like, okay, that's them right there. And then the car behind him will shoot the people up. I don't know. That's the idea that I got when I thought about it, but you're right. It could have been someone following him trying to kill him, right? But I think that's where they're going with that one. Kimmy Locker says, mommy issues. Yeah, he's always shooting at someone's mommy. They mammy, they mama, they mommy. I'm just like, why are you constantly shooting at people's mothers? They're just trying to make a good life. It's not their fault their kid, or it might be their fault their kid is being bad, but yeah, leave the mamas alone. Hello Swaggy says, you didn't miss it, Bree. The live is being edited and will come out after our first 2 episodes. Oh, okay. So like 3 Sundays from now, LOL, I'll be tagging you anyways because I mentioned you, so you'll know when it does. Okay, thank you very much. I thought you live streamed it, but that was cool too, like the podcast. Hello Swaggy says, to me, I'll tag you in the clip where I mentioned you. The SM clips will come out before the full live. That makes sense. And Hello Smoky says, yo, I just finished catching up. Thanks for the love, Bree. You too, Kimmy Locker, for the support, including keeping me sane when things have gone real wrong. Well, that is good that you're getting some help. No, we appreciate you stopping by, or not stopping by, but being a part of the live stream. So we're going to support you all we can, of course. Of course, of course. Okay, so let's see. Let me see if our likes went up. We are at 27 likes. One person hit the like button that hadn't hit it already. So thank you for that. Let's try to get through the rest of these charges, even though there are a bunch. I always like overcommit to the things that we cover on the channel. I'm like, oh, it's not going to be that bad. And then it's like, oh, geez, Louise, this is long as heck. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to only try to read the Young Thug things, but I get distracted when I see like terroristic threats. Basically told someone, you'll die if you put the police on me, in violation of the law. Like, what do y'all got going on? There's a lot going on. Okay, we got Diamante back with Gunna and Young Thugs appearing in a video talking about take it to trial. Take this. Oh, did we already cover that? Yeah, something about another thing about the mammies and the choppers and all of the things. Jeffrey Williams says, Young Thug was involved with all of these people, engaged in a conversation that stated YSL rule the world, kid. Oh no, I did already read this. Did I accidentally scroll up? Okay, where am I at? Or did these ones come up again? No, these ones are new. He appeared in a video called Ski. I F with the slats and we come to eat rats, and I came with the effing piranhas. I told the effing on me. Call Nietzsche Nietzsche. It's a Glock he keep. Duke Roland, 60s, he's locked in C, an overt act in furtherance of a conspiracy. Jeffrey also engaged in a conversation saying, y'all ain't beat him up or shot him yet. Oh my God. Jeez Louise. That was aggressive. Y'all ain't beat him up or shot him yet. Then states, y'all N-words getting soft. Basically trying to make them or encourage them to do bad things to someone else is what it sounds like. They recorded a video called White Tinquarius Minder was an inmate in Fulton County Jail. Said video call being recorded in normal course of business, and during said, Minder stated he needed something. Williams pointed to Huey to take care of Minder's request and flashed Minder a YSL gang sign, an overt act. So they got video of them doing this in the middle of the jail. Not a smart move. Young Thug poses for a photo released on Huey's Instagram with the caption from lockdown to a jet slap biz. Okay. Let's see what else Young Thug did. Young Thug communicated with Huey when Huey stated, you know, I'm ready to handle the business and go sit down. If I got to bout any one of y'all on my mama, saying that to Young Thug, he gonna basically defend the YSL. Young Thug did post for a photo released on his Instagram wearing YSL pendant with his index finger wiping under his nose, basically signaling drug use, I'm assuming, and representing his gang. And the whole thing is they're trying to cover up the gang. This is what the prosecution is alleging. They're trying to cover up the gang with the record label. So they're going to say, no, I'm only wearing YSL because that's my record label. Stands for Young Stoner Lives or whatever it's called. It's not this Young Slime, whatever you think it is, right? Young Thug did appear on a video released on his Instagram, accounting a flashing Bloods gang sign and a overt act of a conspiracy. It goes on with all of the. I really wanted to read all of this, but this is too much. This is a whole book at this point. Young Thug says he did pose for a photo released on Williams on his own Instagram, wearing a YSL pendant and bracelet with the word slime and with a red letter B tattoo on his chest. Let's see. They had a conspiracy to commit murder. It doesn't include, okay. By discussing how to obtain permission of slime, they had to obtain permission of Young Thug to make a second attempt to murder on Rayshawn Bennett, aka YF YFN, is that how y'all say it? YFN Lucci, or do you pronounce the letters, or is it I don't know. While Rayshawn Bennett was incarcerated in Fulton County Jail, said first attempt to murder Rayshawn being alleged in Act 144 of this count, the violation of Georgia law. They needed to get more permission from Young Thug in order to try again because they basically missed the first time. Gunna and Young Thug did pose in a photo released on Gunna's account with the caption "Slap Business, YSL 4L for life." An overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. They're going to claim it's because that is their record label. The court is, or the prosecution is going to try to prove that it's gang activity. Young Thug, along with all these other peoples, unlawfully commit felony offense participation in a criminal street gang while associated with a street gang. To wit, YSL participated in criminal street gang activity through commission of at least one of the offenses. They have possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute, cocaine, and a firearm in commission of the felony. A Young Thug is being accused of possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute, possession of codeine with the intent to distribute, possession of cocaine with the intent to distribute, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. There says unlawfully having on or within arm's reach of accused person Glock 30S firearm, Glock 357, FN firearm. See, I didn't even know a FN was a firearm. See how square I am. I was like, why do they keep saying FN? Why do they keep saying FN? It's a gun. A Glock 19 firearm, a Smith & Wesson M&P firearm, and a Glock 45 firearm with a converter switch and extended magazine. Jeez, okay. During the commission of a felony, possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute, and possession of cocaine with the intent to distribute, and possession of cocaine. So not enough to distribute there. Jeffrey Williams, also known as Young Thug, he had a possession of a firearm, a violation of Georgia law, by unlawfully possessing a machine gun, to wit, Glock 45 firearm with a converter switch and an extended magazine during the commission of attempted commission of one of the following offenses: participation in a street gang activity, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, possession of codeine with intent to distribute, and possession of cocaine. They never have enough cocaine to distribute, though. They just possess it. The acts as set forth above were committed in furtherance of the conspiracy alleged above and had the same or similar intents, results, accomplices, victims, or methods of commission, or otherwise were interrelated by distinguishing characteristics. There's more. There's more. Okay, we have the murder of Donovan, we have armed robbery, and so that was one of the ones where they said they kind of divided the cases up. It sounds like the murder of Donovan already went forward, and they're in the process of appealing it. And I'm saying that's what they said, but that's what they said during the hearing that I was watching earlier. So you guys might not be familiar with it if you haven't been watching it. I'm just going to quickly go through all the counts because these ones are not involving... what is our guy's name? Young Thug. Okay, so count 32. This is for attempted murder. Oh, I thought he wasn't involved in the attempted murder. Let me keep scrolling. Was he? I don't think he was involved in the attempted murder. Or did you just highlight the attempted murders for me, Kimmy? Okay. Obama is involved in conspiracy to commit a crime. Not the real Obama, but the nickname guy Obama. Let's see. All right, here we go. Young Thug was the participation in a street gang activity. He is accused because he did so in the years by occupying a position of organizer, supervisor, or other position of management or leadership of the criminal street gang. YSL did engage in or directly or indirectly conspire to engage in one of the following acts with the criminal street gang activity: murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, armed robbery, hijacking of a motor vehicle, sale of marijuana, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, theft by receiving a firearm, and possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. He also participated in a criminal street gang activity with pretty much the same stuff, with holding on to the drugs and having a gun in the commission of a felony. He violated the Georgia Controlled Substance Act by possessing marijuana with the intent to distribute. Violate the Georgia Controlled Substance Act by possession of codeine with the intent to distribute. That was in May 2022, so really recently. Young Thug also violated the controlled substance by possessing cocaine. He's not supposed to have that, but he did not have the intent to distribute. So maybe less time, maybe. Possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Basically when he had the drugs with the intent to distribute, and then also the cocaine, which apparently he did not intend to distribute, which likely means that he didn't have enough on him to distribute. Possession of a firearm or a machine gun while engaged in gang activity, including the possession of the drugs. So they're mostly getting him on the drug stuff. They're not getting him on the murder stuff. So yeah, that's the essence of the indictment. Young Thug is being charged with quite a few things. However, he's not being charged with the major things, even though the people are saying, or the other criminals are saying, that they had to get his permission to try to do a second hit on someone. And that he said, if you don't do this, then I'm going to, beat you up, or why y'all haven't beat people up yet, and all of the things. So surprisingly, he's not really being charged with the super, like, all of it is bad, right? All of it is bad, but he's not really being charged with the super bad stuff. So I don't know what that is all about. Let me see if my other ones work. Okay, so that one works, but for whatever these ones don't work. So it must be a setting or something. Yeah, for some reason this one doesn't work. It's not even doing my little voice changer thing. I do not know what that is all about. Yeah, that's making me mad. I don't know why it's not working. So sorry about that, y'all. Got to figure out my soundboard again. Making me mad. Okay, let's get back into the chats. I'm gonna go ahead and go through the comments that are related to the live stream, and then I'm gonna give kind of like a brief overview of what I'm kind of seeing in the trial. Like I've said earlier, I mean, the trial has only been going for 2 days, right? But I've only made it halfway, or not only know if it's halfway through opening statements, but I only made it through a part of the prosecution's opening statements, and then it got into some messy, ridiculous things. Yeah, I don't have a clue what's on my end, Kimmy, with the soundboard. It works for like the applause thing, but not any of like the other sound effects. Okay. So, Hello Swanky says 7 black women, 3 black men has gotta be a record, gotta be. But we also have to remember they're in Atlanta, a pretty high population of black people there in general. So they handpicked those people for sure. Hello Swanky says catching up on chats because I was driving. Wait, who's the supposed mastermind? It's supposed to be Young Thug, or he's supposed to be the leader, not necessarily the mastermind. Kimmy Locker says Young Thug's the alleged co-founder and leader. Oh, I didn't know he was the alleged co-founder. But yeah, he's supposed to be, they're trying to charge him with being the leader, basically. Hello Swinky says, yeah, I thought that's what was being claimed, which unless there's a lot we don't know about, is that YouTube? That seems kind of laughable, but anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. Hello, Swanky says to Kimmy, I agree about a lot of these being weak. I'm almost not disappointed, but def side eyeing the DA's prosecution, looking at these charges a little different. Yeah, and that's why I'm happy that we actually went through it, because they're like, oh, he has this RICO charge, blah, blah, blah. I don't think I ever actually went through the indictment. I slightly skimmed it earlier, but I definitely didn't get this much information on it. He's not really being charged with, like I said, all the things are bad, right? All the things are bad. But what he's being charged with are like the little things. He's not being charged for the murder. He's not being charged for the attempted murder. He's not being charged for the robbery. He's not being charged with aggravated assault. He's not being charged with the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He's not being charged for any of that stuff. He's being charged with being a part of a gang and trying to sell marijuana and codeine. Okay? That's the lowest crime level in this indictment, in my opinion, right? he got gang friends and he was trying to sell drugs, even though he's a rapper and people assume that he makes a lot of money. Why is he selling drugs? Blah, 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 right? Those are the type of things that people would probably argue. But for the most part, what he's really being charged with does not sound like it's going to have a lot of time associated with it. And he's not really being charged with really harming people. He's just being charged with having the gun, having the drugs, having a large amount of the drugs to sell. So it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I thought he was being charged with more. The YT was Young Thug. I completely missed that. I'm sorry, Hella Swanky. Yeah. So the things he's being charged with, to me, out of all of the things that are indicted on here, are very minor, and it's almost like, okay, well, which is, I guess, what RICO is. The leader doesn't necessarily pull the trigger; they're the one just directing it. But he's not even being charged with like being an accomplice to the murder or anything. Like, they said he rented the car. He rented the car. Why are you not putting him on the murder part of it? You know, like Rivera and Garcia, give it that they are the ones that actually drove the car after renting it, right? But I don't see why they're not charging with him with that. Do they not have enough on that? Are these people just following him around because they think he's cool? Were they following him around in the car with guns because they're his unspoken for security guards because he's a celebrity? I don't know. Kimmy Locker says to Hella Swanky, I was definitely I am the original indictment in which the alleged co-founder and leader was only charged with 2 of 56 counts and allegedly committed 36 out of 182 acts of furtherance. Because Kimmy went through that document. Thank you so much. Patience. She has the patience that I do not. That's why we need her on the team. Yeah, well, they charged some more things to him, but even the things that they're charging to him, yes, he said some things in raps, but they don't all the way go with what the other people are being charged with. It's just saying he calls the shots, but what shots did he call? Did he call the shots to these particular murders? I don't know. And I'm saying murder a lot on my channel, and I don't know if YouTube is going to punish me for it. Okay, we are at 29 likes. Can we get one more like and hit 30, y'all? One more like. We can do one more like, right? Hello Swanky says, Kimmy Locker, I want to hear the conversations the DAs are having. We gonna get these RICO charges out here because that's what our DA is good at. Kimmy Locker says, I kind of want to make some charts and graphs of the charges and acts, examples of the photos and video appearance versus allegations of the legal acts, but I'm a number nerd. Yeah, that's a lot of work, Kimmy. I don't know if you should do it. I don't know if that would be the best use of your time because these are a lot of allegations. What was the ending count? A lot of it was, he made a song. And he said he did these things. He said he shot at the mommy, but there's no allegations that somebody's mommy was shot at by the YSL. We don't even know who they're talking about. There was 190 things that they did as overt acts. Jeez. Okay. Hello Swinky says, since I know everybody currently watching check already hit like, another way to help is to hit share. Copy the link even if you don't post it, though. Actually, sharing would be dope too. Oh, thank you very much. I did not know that. Definitely appreciate it. Hello Swinky says, just something I've learned recently in my research about finessing the algorithm. Love it. We need more finessers so that we can finesse the algorithm in our favor as well. Okay, let's see here. Hello Swanky says, yeah, but the demographic of the area in which the trial takes place has almost never impacted jury selection. It's a common critique of our criminal justice system. That's why I am so shocked. And they did say it took like a year for them to even pick the jurors. So that could potentially be helpful for it too. And a lot of people were saying that they didn't have the time to, financially support themselves by being a jury member on this trial because it could last up to a year. So yeah, that is true. Kimmy Locker says that's also not representative of the demographic of Fulton County, which consensus government estimates as 44.2% white and 45% Black and African American in 2022. But the thing is that we have to think about with jury selection is that you're gonna push people off. And so I can tell you this. I can tell you this about why each side probably picked the people that they picked. The defense is going to pick the Black women because Black women are known to protect Black men, even if Black men are not protecting them. Controversial statement, sure. However, it can be considered true depending on who you are. Black women are known for protecting Black men. Black men are also going to be more known for protecting other Black men, right? Versus the 3 white people that they let on the jury that they're going to assume are not going to, they don't like the rap music. They think that Black people are bad. That's what people are going to assume, right? So they probably try to keep white people off of it, although you are not supposed to discriminate against people based on their race. That is not supposed to be a part of jury selection. But let's be honest, you're looking at somebody, you're trying to figure out if they're going to be, the most favorable for your case. Are they going to say, nah, they didn't give me enough information? Or are they going to be more skeptical? Are Black people are going to understand more, okay, these people are rapping, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they actually committed the crime, while someone else may say, hey, no, a white person might say, oh yeah, they did commit the crime because they always commit those kind of crimes. Those are just statements that we see on the internet, okay? And in real life sometimes, there's some racism, right? So that's probably why the defense, in my opinion, picked the Black women and the Black men. On the other hand, the prosecution probably picked Black women because the prosecution is a team of Black women. So they are going to listen to the prosecution. They're going to listen. They might see themselves in her and that she's trying to protect the community. And these Black women may also be mothers that are upset that their kids are involved in gang activity, or maybe upset that their kids can be exposed to gang activity. Or they could have picked them reasonably and not based on race and what they would think favorably based on the things that they said. But I do think that race played some kind of part in it, as far as why they picked who they picked, and it benefits each side. Just depending on what each side is guessing, right? You can object to certain jurors for certain reasons, but you're not supposed to object to them solely based on the race. So there we have it. I don't know if that made sense. I was just kind of rambling. Hella Swanky says, one more like, say let's BRB. Okay, we should have over 30 now. Thank you very much, Hella Swanky. Yes, we hit 31 likes. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Let me get it. Since that's the only freaking button that I can freaking hear. No, it's just like this whole one. I can hear all of these ones, but I can't hear any of these. Like, I can't even hear my voice changer thing. So,
and y'all know I really like the voice changer thing, but it's not working for me for
whatever reason. Okay, I think I turned it off. But yeah, I gotta figure out what's wrong with it. Well, here's this one now. Let's see if I can hear.
Can I hear it now?
Oh, nope, I still can't hear it. So I'll figure it out at a different time. Okay. Hello Swanky says, we did live stream it. We just didn't publish it after. Okay, that makes sense. We downloaded it, edit, and maximize the content. Makes a lot of sense. Things I don't do. No, but Hello Swanky or Black and Six says, oh yeah, for the most part, I know why they would choose them. I'm surprised they were so successful. I've never been this interested in to watch jury selection for a trial. I'm so curious. I don't know if they filmed that part of it because it was so freaking long. I'm not sure if they filmed it, but again, I didn't even know the trial was starting yesterday. Kimmy Locker says, jury selection strategy totally makes sense to me, but I'm a numbers nerd as discussed and was curious to see the difference. Yeah, no, I completely get you on that. Black and Six says, I don't know that part, Bree. Okay. Thank you. Such a good point and perspective. Wow, that explains everything. This makeup benefits both sides, or at least both sides think it will. Exactly. They can assume it's going to benefit them. Doesn't necessarily mean it's actually going to benefit them. So we just have to see what the outcome is. But with a year worth of testimony, it's either the jury's going to just blank out and be like, I don't really care about this anymore. They're not guilty, or yes, they are guilty. But if they're really terrorizing the community, how they're saying they are terrorizing, which a lot of this stuff is very terroristic. Okay, I don't know if that is a word, but they are being very terrorizing. A lot of the actual terrorizing events are not actually charged to Young Thug, though, which is interesting to me, which I'm surprised he didn't just plead guilty to or got some type of plea deal or something. But I guess snitches get stitches, right? Natatat says, that was great. I went into high-pitched voice for a second. Yeah, I know you guys can hear it. I just can't hear it. I don't know what's you know, I just pronounce things wrong here and there, Kimmy. It's not on purpose. I can't even say what was the thing I couldn't say just a second ago. But yeah. Okay. So there we are. Okay. So we went ahead and went through the indictment. We went ahead and went through the article and caught up on what the actual allegations are, and how we got here. Now let's talk about what has been going on in the courtroom so far. And when I say so far, I mean halfway through day one, because that's as far as I got. All right. So it started off with them taking forever to get started with the case. And then it went on to the judge reading the indictments for everybody, which I skipped through because, as we saw, they were long as heck. And I didn't even read it for each defendant. And the judge read it for each defendant. And then we went on to the prosecution's opening statement, which kind of started abruptly for me. She was doing something at the table, and then all of a sudden she started telling the story about a wolf. And the wolf leads the pack, and the pack protects the wolf, or whatever the heck. It was from some type of book that she liked, right? And she's going on and she's going on and she's doing okay. And then we get the defense starting to object. It's awkward objections. He doesn't say objection. He just starts talking. And the judge is like, what is your objection? And this is why I think that the judge does not like the defense, because every time that guy or one of the guys stood up, because each of the defendants, I believe, have their own attorney. Every time he stood up, he was like, what now? What now, Bob? I don't know the guy's name, but they're like, what do you want? And he's like, oh, I have a motion I would like to say, or argument. This is argument. The judge was like, well, this is argument for some of them. Then he goes on to the motion and asks that, I don't know if he necessarily asked that the slideshow be excluded or not, but basically what happened is that the prosecution presented they were in opening argument and they were using a slideshow. The judge asked the parties to basically exchange the slideshows or any visual aids that the parties would use during opening statements so that they can make the objections at the proper time. For whatever reason, the prosecution did not send the actual PowerPoint and argue that, well, this is my opening statement. I did not know that I had an obligation to give them my actual opening statement. I thought I needed to just give them the pictures, which is what I did. They got into how a lot of the things that she put on there were like misstated. They were the wrong date. They were the wrong, they weren't supposed to include. One of the attorneys also represents one of the a convicted murder defendants that got separated from the trial. And that's on appeal. It included the attorney's name. He thought it was prejudicial. All of the things, right? She's like, well, I sent them the picture. I didn't know I have to basically send them my argument or my opening statement, which is not supposed to be an argument. They went back and forth. And then all of a sudden, all the other defendant attorneys are standing up. And I object for this. I don't think she should be able to use the PowerPoint. There's so many misstatements. They didn't send it to me, blah, 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 blah. The judge got mad at them and was like, I told y'all. He got a little feisty. He was like, I told y'all to do that. This is why I told y'all to do that. Now we got the jury standing outside. We're wasting 2 hours trying to figure out why y'all did not do what I ordered. The defense basically said that the prosecution shouldn't be able to use their slideshows because they did not follow directions. And then they went to lunch. The judge ordered them to look at the slideshows and make sure that they were correct. Defense attorneys comes back and say, oh, I never got the slideshow. I never got to look at it. The prosecution is like, you have the link. It updates in real time, blah, blah, blah. And all of these things. And it was just a mess. The judge ended up being like, you know what? Nobody gets PowerPoints. Let's resolve it. Bring the jury back in. Since y'all don't know how to follow directions, no one gets PowerPoints. Now, I am still kind of going through that portion of it because they still objected. It was like, well, actually, Your Honor, we would like to still use our PowerPoints because I based my whole opening argument based on my PowerPoint. And so, I mean, if you're going to get rid of everybody's PowerPoint, then I guess we're okay with her PowerPoint, okay? Well, no, we just want hers excluded, but we want to still be able to use our PowerPoint, even though we didn't do what you told us to do during the lunch break. Yeah, we went to lunch, okay? We went to lunch. We did not do what you told us to do. I don't know if they actually went to lunch, but either way it goes, the judge was pretty upset with the attorneys, and I think this is going to be a very, very long trial. I feel like it's already been a very, very long process to even get the jury selected. And I am not surprised if it comes out that the judge does not really like either side. In the beginning, I felt like he was kind of favoring the prosecution, but when she pulled that stunt with not providing the proper information, he kind of switched up, and then he was kind of mad at both sides. So I'm hoping this is not a theme that we see where the trial is constantly stopping with the objection. But the thing with having 6 defendants, each one of the attorneys, I don't know if every single one of the attorneys, but they were like, anybody else, everybody had to stand up and say something like, oh, I object for this reason. I object for this reason. I want a mistrial. They moved for a mistrial because of whatever was on the slideshow, right? So it was just a lot. It's a lot of defendants there. They're all just kind of sitting there while the attorneys are objecting left and right. I don't know if it's a plan to try to confuse, but having those 6 defendants, I feel like is just going to be a hot mess. But I guess they already did it in the murder trial, so I guess they know how to do it. I personally would just be confused the whole time. So, but that's me. That's me. Okay, let me go ahead and jump back in the chat. Black and Six says, which is hella Swinky also, says this is going to be a prime example of Black people are not the monolith. I think class and background and personal politics will be more of a factor than race, especially with so many Black people on the one jury. I definitely agree with you there. And I also think it's important to point out, which I briefly mentioned earlier, is that if these people the jury is actually living in the community, and YSL and all the other street gangs are really wreaking havoc on their community, then they are going to want to put them away because they're going to want justice. And then maybe the other street gangs will start to calm down, right? So it may go either way. Or you may have the Black people that are very far removed from the Cleveland Avenue and have no idea what's going on, and doesn't think think that these are just misguided young people that need another chance. We don't know what they're going to actually decide. So that's a good point. Black and Six says, well, this just got me officially hella interested in the case. LOL, sociology in real time. The nerd in me and the charts and graphs level excited. Excited now. Yeah, it's a really interesting case. I just don't know if I'll be able to keep up with it that long. But in order to cover this case, you have to keep up with it that long. You cannot take weeks off and then try to catch up. Kimmy Locker says to Black and Sick, yeah, this trial is super interesting to me. So even though I know it'll take some time, I'm going to make some charts and graphs for the funsies. Love to see it. Well, we'll go over them. Kimmy Locker says, I think multiple defendants for a trial with all or mostly the same charges like murder would be way different than this Buster Cluck. Yes, I agree with you. Even if you didn't type it that way, Kimmy, I probably would have read it that way because I don't know. I mix my words and my letters. Yeah, I agree with you. It's too many charges. So yeah, they took out the murder, right? Sure, they took that part out. But they have all of this other stuff going on, and who posted a picture and who appeared in the video and who did this and who did that, right? Maybe I should go back and listen to all the charges because maybe all of these charges are not in the trial either. Because I know some of them got separated. Some people pled out, some people took are witnesses, all of the things. Kimmy Locker says, it feels like a confusion tactic to me. As an individual, trials wouldn't hold up, so they're going for a guilty by association kind of thing. I agree with you. It's either the jury is, to me, it's either the jury is just going to zone out and be like, I've been here for a year of my life, and I don't really care what you do with these people, just get them from in front of my face. Or it's going to be oh yeah, he did it, and that's his friend, and that's his cousin, and they were always hanging out, so he must also be associated with it. Hello Swanky says, true, Bree, unless there are some advocates of restorative justice and abolitionists like me on the jury. Exactly. You never know what the jury is going to do. And if you pick them based on what you, and then people lie during jury selection because they want to be on the jury sometimes. You never know. Okay, Kimmy Locker says, I type it like that since your cuss button broke. I probably would have still mixed it up, to tell you the truth. Hello Swanky says, love Fluster, Fluster Cluck. IDK if that was intentional, but I can't go back now. Love it. Kimmy Locker says, it's like probably Nerfic. Oh, Po Body Nerfic. Oh, I messed that up quickly. The other one read perfectly. Okay. All right. Taylor Swanky is going to be driving. Don't text or stream and drive. Well, you can stream and drive, just don't play in the chat. But that is really all that I have for today. I think that the trial is going to be interesting. If you haven't already, I would suggest catch up right now while we're only 2 days in. That is what I'm trying to do. I am going on a trip for my birthday, so hopefully I will still be able to catch back up in time to cover more of it on our next live stream, which will probably be next Thursday. There is also another case we briefly talked about in another live stream with what was her name? Caitlin Armstrong, that Kimmy did a PowerPoint for us on. And so that one's probably going to be a pre-recorded video because, excuse me, I haven't had an opportunity to go over the PowerPoint so that I can chat about it with you guys. And then, like I said, this Young Thug trial is probably going to take up a lot of our time moving forward. Of course, we'll try to throw in some fun cases here and there, but I think this is a good case for the channel to actually follow. If y'all agree, let me know. If you don't agree, definitely let me know. We got Tanya D, like I said, I think our longest member of the channel, with a 17-month member badge, saying, have a great birthday trip. Thank you. You too. I never saw where you were going, but if anyone cares, I'm going to New York. I've never been to New York. It's supposed to be pretty cold, so I'm nervous about that. But I think it will be a good time. And y'all also wish Tanya D a happy birthday because her birthday is coming up next week too. Okay, so let me see here. How do I get rid of this banner? Kimmy, I got a banner that won't disappear. Okay, there it goes. It's gone now. Okay. But yes, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week. Like I said, I will try to post a short or something, but for the most part, I will probably be missing in action celebrating my birthday. Thank you all for joining and watching us live. Make sure you leave comments in the community tab if you want to hear more about this. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead and comment under the video whether you would like to see more about this. And if you haven't hit the like button and you made it here this far, please do hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm. We also have another member chat of 11 months, Hella Swanky, coming in saying, oh yeah, happy birthday to Tanya D and Bree. Thank you very much. Another longtime member of the channel and moderator of the channel, always helping us out. I definitely appreciate you. All the subscribers and all of you that join me live, I definitely appreciate every single one of you. It makes me do this. I love doing this. We have a good time. So other than that, I am going to take my butt to bed because I have court in the morning. And hopefully I don't have 6 defendants at one. I don't have that, and I hope to never have that. But I will see y'all all on the next live stream, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their week.